Hello everyone, the Agent Lab here. Part 3 of the 67 episodes really lived up to all its expectations. When I first saw the whole thing, without exaggeration, I was absolutely ecstatic. This is exactly the TV man Titan we were expecting. However, there was a lot more besides this legendary return. And on first viewing, it's hard to immediately find answers to all the questions you have. For example, why did Cameraman Titan first wanted to kill himself but then switch to Speakerman Titan? Although Speakerman himself was also near this glow. But he did not kill anyone. What is the real secret of this new ability of the scientist? What did TV Man Titan say to the scientist? And what did all his phrases mean? And most importantly, was the scientist real, or is this his fake version? These and many other questions will be answered today. I, as usual, found for you absolutely all the secrets in this episode, so be sure to watch the video from beginning to end. Put a like if you like the analysis and want more such videos, and we friends begin. The release of the last part of the 67 episodes, UNDEFEATED decided to show a very interesting way. For the first time in the history of Skibidi Toilet, when the episode was still in the premiere, on the picture of the video was seen inscription. And if you look closely, you can see what it says. And it says, "You think you're winning?" Even before the beginning of the part, it was already clear that Skibidi Toilets will have a huge problem. The description said, everyone has their weakness. We will come back to these phrases and analyze them, but now let's move on to analyzing the part itself. At the very beginning there is a repetition again, as it is a continuation of the same 67 episodes. But here you should pay attention that our cameraman on behalf of whom we are watching is wearing a lens. This information will be useful to us. After that, Cameraman Titan starts sawing himself, and suddenly, he is saved by Spikerman Titan. My hunch is confirmed again. UNDEFEATED, for the sake of intrigue, probably showed the wrong video sequence to make an illusion, like Titan will die. So there. If you pay attention, at the end of the second part, we can clearly see that at the moment when the Titan is already catching fire, there is not even a hint that someone will come to help. And here in the new part 3, Cameraman Titan is not even on fire yet. And Speakerman Titan is right there. I mean, he deliberately didn't show a Spikerman Titan at the end of part 2 and cut him out completely. After that, the Titan cameraman accidentally stabs Speakerman with his saw when he wants to help him, but cameraman pushes him away with his other hand to kill himself. Spikerman pulls out his knife and decides to just cut his hand off, which helps, since killing yourself with your bare hands isn't easy. When the scientist realizes he needs to change tactics, he turns on the purple screen light, which, unlike the red one, gives the command not to kill himself, but to kill his allies. Speakerman is a Titan, realizes that it is necessary to break the screen as quickly as possible in order not to fight with the cameraman, and therefore has already put a knife in his speaker to shoot. Recall that we saw the same thing in episode 61, when we were first shown the speaker woman. However, this was prevented by G-Man with his lasers, and the blow was so strong that the Speakerman's right speaker fell off. He already wanted to fight back, but then Cameraman Titan under hypnosis starts fighting and puts his foot on him. After that, our cameraman on behalf of whom we are watching makes an unsuccessful shot on the screen of the scientist. By the way, about it, I told you to remember the moment when we put on the lens, so it is because we have a lens, this hypnosis does not affect us, and the lens Cameraman Titan scientist successfully removed before turning on the screen. But then there is a logical question, and why then Speakerman Titan did not become as aggressive as Cameraman Titan? Well, for newcomers to this universe, I'll tell you that speakers are not susceptible to hypnosis. We knew this from the old episodes, because cameramen always have protection from screens in the form of a lens, but speakermen do not. In principle, it is logical, because they have speakers, which cannot see the light, and most likely in space they are oriented by sound waves. Well, and then begins the most epic. First TV man Titan breaks the monitor scientist. Already on his face, it is clear that it was super unexpected, and they did not foresee it. Then we see tired Titans. After hypnosis, Cameraman Titan falls down. I think he has very little energy after everything that happened to him during these couple episodes. And of course we are shown smoke and suddenly lightning. And it is already clear that the energy is powerful. There are also some leaves or rocks on the sides, and the sound of a tornado, which is so powerful that its appearance even changes the weather around the perimeter. Of course, when G-Man saw the scientist's broken TV, and then saw this huge fog, he knew he had to get out. His old tactic. By the way, as I said in previous videos, he will escape the battlefield with his new boosters, which is what we saw in this part. After all, he already did that in episode 57, so it's not surprising at all. This is another confirmation that we have a real G-Man in front of us. And the scientist at the same time decides to give battle. First of all, because it is not our real scientist. Yes, friends. On the minigun to the right of the head, there is a number 2, and it turns out that this number was also seen in the previous 2 installments. However, this does not mean that this is a fake version. In fact, it's all confusing. I'll tell you all about it now. We will return to the fake scientist at the end. Now, the most interesting thing is the new Titan, which has improved a lot since his last appearance. First of all, you can immediately notice his sword. It is very huge in size. I note that it is not just an accessory, as it was with the Hammer Cameraman Titan. It is a direct continuation of his hand, because this sword glows the same color as the core, and he gets his energy from it. Maybe it's not his only trump card. I'm sure he'll have other weapons. However, this is a topic for a separate video, where I have collected all the secrets of the new TV Man Titan, and ready to tell you about all his secrets. If you want such a video to come out faster, be sure to put likes and subscribe to the channel, so as not to miss. When he appears, he says the phrase, "You and I, here, now." Then he says, "I'll harm you." Then he chops the scientist's hands in 2 swings. TV Man says, "Still alive?" He sees that the scientist is still moving, so he decides to epically finish him off with his sword, and then fry him with his core. Wait a minute, he's not a real scientist, so we're sad. I'm sure our old friend will be back in future episodes. Recall that since episode 60, we've seen him with a normal eye. However, it is in 67 that he appears with a red eye, and with the number 2 on his gun. But when we see his insides, there's no hint of a skull or a fake other Skibidi like there was with the fake G-Man. And it's worth mentioning that he was constantly shaking, even after very hard damage. And if we pay attention, he's all made of metal and wires. The only thing that resembles a normal Skibidi toilet is its skin, as you can see blood. But we have already seen with the fake G-Man that the skin toilets can copy perfectly, and it's hard to distinguish it from the real one. So here's my theory on this. It's not a trap. They didn't even know they would meet TV Man Titan. I think the real original Skibidi scientist is still a small size, and what we see after 60 episodes is his clones, numbered clones. At this point, there were only 2. The first version with a normal eye, and the second version is more improved with a red one. These are probably just the first samples of the scientist. Just imagine that in the future there will be not 1, not 2, and not even 3, but 10 such huge scientists. But in fact, it is unlikely. Most likely he will not make a lot of clones, and will try to pump up to the maximum a couple of clones. Because I remind you that Defuk makes animations alone, and that's why usually in battles simultaneously involved in 2, 3, or maximum 4 characters. So at this stage, Defuk doesn't have that many resources to make this a reality. And after all that, the TV man looked at the scientist and realized he wasn't real, and said, "It's on. He's going to kill every Skibidi toilet that gets in his way, and there's no stopping him." Although of course we understand that the Skibidi toilets will not just give up and will think of something, because they have a huge potential. At least we have not yet seen the full power of the improved G-Men, as well as we have not yet shown all the technology scientist, which I'm sure, except for all kinds of clones, has other trump cards under his sleeve. So be sure to subscribe to the channel with a bell not to miss my new analyses. And that's all for now. Preparing a video about TV Man Titan and its secrets, and while you can watch my other videos. See you later.